Hello and welcome to episode 4 of No Reservations, Kasey Anton's Guide to Restaurant Success. And here we go. This is the episode that is the true meat of the matter. This is the episode where it is the inspiration really behind this entire podcast, which is the book that I wrote and released in June of 2023 called Profit First for Restaurants. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you exactly what Profit First for Restaurants is. Okay, so if you've already heard of Profit First, the original book by Mike Michalowicz, you already have a head start. You get what it is, a cash management system, cash flow for your business, et cetera, et cetera. I'll dive deeper into that in a moment. But to start off, I think it's extremely important to understand profit, because I definitely did not understand profit at all when I had my restaurants years ago and the businesses that I was managing, working in, operating, running before I had my own places. I thought that profit was a number on a bottom of a P&L that showed if I was doing a good job or a bad job. It was like a report card of my operational skills. That was it. And that is not at all what profit is, but that's what I thought it was. And I'm pretty sure that everybody that I have worked with then and now think something similar about profit. Now, oftentimes when I'm speaking or even just talking to clients and ask that question, what does profit mean to you? Like, how would you describe profit? I'd say overall, the theme of the responses are the leftovers. It's what's left over, right? It's what's left over after I take in my sales and I pay out all my expenses, and what's left over is profit. Or sometimes you get like, well, it's just, I don't know, it's a number on the bottom of a piece of paper that my accountants sometimes make me look at when they finish the books or something like that. All of that is wrong, and all of that is harmful. And that's what I have discovered when I discovered Profit First back in 2017. And I tell the story in my book. It is immediately, I'd say in the first 2 chapters of the original Profit First book, it was like a major bright light bulb went off. And I said, that this is it. This is what has been wrong. Not only with my businesses, my restaurants had prior, but with all the clients I had been working with since I started Spark Business Consulting, and couldn't get them to kind of listen to me about operating better. And not that I'm an expert in everyone's business. Of course I'm not. But what I could is I could read financials. I could understand what the numbers were telling me, and I could advise and guide on that. And there is so much baggage and emotion and really just baggage attached to money when it comes to people, that most of them didn't really listen to me when it came to that. But this, when I discovered Profit First, the cash management system that it is, that was, to use an overused phrase, that was a game changer. It absolutely was a game changer, because it takes the emotional baggage that we all have from our childhood and our upbringing and the very first jobs we ever got around money. It takes that completely away, and it uses it simply as the tool that it is to guide your business. So Profit First for Restaurants is a smart way to manage your money, leveraging habits you most likely already have as a business owner, because I haven't seen a business owner that doesn't have these habits. And it leverages that habit to create a system where profit is the priority, because it must be. In any business, profit must be a priority. And when you do that, when you make profit a priority, everything else gets better. Everything else gets better. The way you operate, your joy, your passion for your business all gets better. And when that gets better, you get more customers who spend more money, and more money in this system means more profit, and it is a cycle that goes around and around. And it has saved so many businesses. Not only saved them, the ones that were going in literally the opposite direction of profit, it has made people a lot of money by using the system. So here's the thing. You can probably get by the name, take your profit first. And literally that's what we're going to do. So to simplify this, I would just say, if you don't want to listen to this podcast any further, and if you don't want to go buy my book, which I know is super self-serving to say you should buy my book, but literally if you own a restaurant, you should absolutely buy this book, because it's like a small textbook, and it'll lay out for you the who, what, where, why, and how of implementing the system. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to buy or download the book or get the workbook that goes with it, or sign up for the Profit First lab that I created online, and you don't have to do any of those things, just do this one thing. Open up a separate bank account. Maybe it's a savings account. Maybe it's one of those high interest paying online savings accounts that are available. My favorites, American Express, Synchrony. I hear Discover's got a good one. Ally Bank, I think Capital One might. That's not my favorite though. And what I want you to do is you open up this separate account. You can create a nickname. Hopefully you know that by now for any bank account right now with the technology. You can create a nickname. Call it profit. This is important. You have to have the word profit in the nickname, because when you log in and look at it, you need to see the word profit. And then I want you to transfer over just 1% or 10%. It's up to you and your business model, but I'm saying just for baby steps, transfer 1% of every sale or every deposit from your current main operating account, whatever account you use, whatever business account you use for your business. Transfer 1% of all of your sales over to this profit account. And you can do that daily, weekly, bi-weekly. You could even just do it monthly if you want. I would do it more frequently than that because it's fun and you're going to want to, but up to you. And just 1%, just move that over for a while. If anything, just start there. But that's not what I wrote my book about. So my book is an entire comprehensive system where we give every single dollar a job in your business deliberately by putting it into a bank account that has the nickname of what that money is used for. Because then it becomes a living, breathing, working budget that you're going to stick to, most likely, like 99% most likely will stick to, because you're using real money budgeted for the purposes that you give it, versus trying to follow a budget that might be on a spreadsheet. Maybe it's in QuickBooks somewhere that you kind of look at and be like, oh man, that's all I can spend. That's arbitrary. There is no repercussions for not following it. I don't really even believe in those, to be honest with you, very much. So, but this is live working cash money budgeted by bank account. So here you go. That's what you're going to do. You know, I just said a couple minutes ago to open up one account, call it profit, and move 1% over. That's the baby step. But to do the entire system, if you really want the full-on Mac Daddy approach to true success in your business, true success that once you do this and it starts flowing, if you so desire, can open up many other businesses doing the same thing, because you're going to feel like you've just unlocked a secret. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up 8 bank accounts. That seem weird to you? Well, it's going to be genius. Follow along with me here. You're going to have 8 accounts. You can use one. If you already have 1 or 2 set up, you can probably just reuse those. But here are the accounts. Pretending like we're starting from day one, brand new business. Let's just to make it easier. You're going to have an income account. And all of your sales, so your point of sale, your credit card processing, anywhere you get money from will go into this one account. That's all this account will do, this income account. Most likely going to be a checking account because they're easier. Maybe a savings. Sometimes there's like restrictions around savings, but it depends on the bank that you're using, and that's completely up to you. I would just, hopefully you're using a no minimum, no fee checking account. But what I want you to do is, I want you to open up the first account as income and direct all of your sales deposits to go in there. So that's just going to collect all the money over and over again for your business, like a big pile of money. Then the very next account you're going to have is going to be your sales and meals tax account. If you don't have that already, because that's not your money. And so when you have all of your deposits going into an income account, we need to first remove the money that is not yours, that does not belong to you, that you cannot use, and move that over to your sales and meals tax account. So that's the first transfer / allocation we're going to make, is over to that sales and meals tax. Okay. So that's set aside, and you no longer have to worry about or get in trouble for not filing and paying your meals tax on time. Then the next account you're going to open up is going to be your cost of goods sold account, your food and beverage account. You call it what you want. I call it cost of goods sold. It's a food and beverage purchase account. You're going to open up that account, and that checking account, that's a checking, and you're going to use that account to pay all of your food and beverage vendors. So if you say that you're running a 30 or 32, 34%, whatever percent that you are running in your restaurant, which you can easily get from your numbers, from your P&L, or if you do a profit assessment, that I'll do that in another podcast. But you should, I would hope that you would have an idea of what you're running for your combined food and beverage costs. And usually it's around 30-ish%. So whatever that is, I want you to move that percentage from your income after your taxes are set aside to that food and beverage account. So say it's 32%. So whatever's left in that income after you move the taxes, you're going to move that percentage over, that 32% over to your food and beverage account. And that's what you have to pay your food and beverage vendors. That's it. That's what you have. And once you move that money over, and then you sit down to go pay your vendors, and if you don't have enough money to pay them, then chances are you are not running a 32% food and beverage costs. And now you know immediately that there's an issue there, and you need to deep dive into it and you need to figure it out. And maybe in the short term, you run some higher profit margin specials. You have a staff contest to sell more appetizers or desserts or side dishes or whatever it is. There's always quick fixes. I have a whole chapter in the book about this to make sure that you can get that in line. Okay. Now, that is your food and beverage checking account to use to pay your food and beverage vendors. After that, the third account, well, it's fourth, right? So we have income, we have meals tax, we have your food and beverage. That's 3 accounts. The next one after that is going to be your payroll, your labor payroll account. So open that up. That's going to be a checking account, most likely. I'm sure it is. And that is where your payroll dollars go in. So if you're running a 30% payroll, this should not include the owner unless the owner works a position like a management position or a chef, like a kitchen position or something like that. Unless they work in that position, this is just for your staff payroll. So if that's 30%, then again, you go back to your income account, whatever the sales were after the tax, you're going to move that percentage over to your payroll account. And that's where you run your payroll out of. And once again, when you go to process your payroll and you get the total sweep, and if that sweep is more money than what you have in that account, well, guess what? You're not running that percentage in payroll, in labor, and you know you have an issue, and you need to focus on that. And whether it's scheduling, cutting back hours, however it is, you need to fix that right away. But I'm not to be all doom and gloom, because the reverse can absolutely be true. And actually, as you run the system, it does tend to become true, where you move over your 30%, let's say, for payroll, and then you run your payroll sweep, and it's not, you have more money in that account than you actually need. Well, great. Let that balance build up for the weeks that you run over, and then maybe true it up at the end of the year, the end of the quarter. We can get to that down the road, but the point is, we want to make sure we have that money set aside, and it should be percentage based on your business model. So we're moving that over. So those are the first 4 accounts. Now, the next 4 accounts are your traditional profit first accounts, and they go like this. You have a profit account, owner's pay, owner's taxes, and OpEx. So what you're going to do from here in those last 4 accounts to make up the 8 accounts that I told you that you're going to open is you're going to take the balance left in your income account. And that's after you move the money to your meals tax, your food and beverage COGS account, and your labor, your payroll account. Whatever balance is left in that income account, we call it that real revenue. That's the money you have left to run your business on after you pay its prime costs and its taxes. That's the money you have left. So from that real revenue, you're going to move a percentage over to your profit, your owner's pay, your owner's taxes, and then the balance will go into your OPEX account, the rest of it. And that's how it looks. Those 8 accounts. Now, the percentages that you use is based entirely on your business model. And you can figure that out looking at a collapsed P&L or doing the profit assessment, which, by the way, we created a free tool on our website, profitfirstforrestaurants.com/tools. Those are all available for free for download if you want to learn how to do a profit assessment for your restaurant, for your business, to figure out what those percentages are. You can certainly book a call with us here at Spark and we can help you do that as well. But that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you today. That is the main system. Now, there's more to it. There's more awesome things to it, but that is the meat of the matter, the main system. It is being smart with your money. It is a live working budget. It's giving every single dollar a job. And when you do that, you immediately know where your focus needs to be, where your attention needs to be in your business, and you make it happen, and profitability goes up. And man, profit serves so many functions that you might not even think of in a business. So your business requires profit. It needs profit. And this is how you do it. So thank you so much for listening to episode 4 of No Reservations, Kasey Anton's Guide to Restaurant Success. I highly recommend you run out or open up Amazon and grab your copy of Profit First for Restaurants book and or the workbook that we also created that is available on Amazon, or download it from Audible. And you know where to find us if you have any questions or comments at all. We would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great one.